We've got a Reese back.
I had to come back. Morgan's dad's missing me, clearly.
He hath returned. Oh, yeah, I forgot we talked about that. Here is that. Do you want to give him a shout out?
What's his name again?
Shay.
Big shout out, Shay.
This will be the only one he doesn't listen to.
Yeah, probably.
Morgan, my housemate, is his favorite character is Reese.
Character.
Yeah. and Morgan's moved back home, so he said it's just really weird hearing all our voices just echoing around his house out of various Alexas and such.
Various Alexas
and such. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Keeping It Real podcast. I've forgotten my intro. What else do I normally say? It's me, James, joined again by Jack and Calvin, and we've brought back a Reese.
What's happening?
He's back from fighting aliens, and he's back on the podcast. Hopefully to stay. You're not going to get drafted again anytime soon, are you, Reese?
No, I don't think so. Done my time.
That's good to know. Right, so we've taken a little break, sorting out our scheduling, even though we've just started recording again on the same day. But that's fine. So we're going to do a little movie catch up of all the things we've missed over the past month, and then an in-depth discussion on the premiere episode of Loki. So let's start off Army of the Dead, because we were going to do that about 3 weeks ago, and I've completely forgotten the majority of the film. But I feel like Reese, start us off with Army of the Dead.
Brilliant. Loved it. You know what?
I've missed
Listen,
him.
if anyone watched the Justice League review, they know I had some beef with Zack Snyder.
Has he redeemed himself?
Now me and Zack Snyder are cool. He's all right, you know.
He's all right, that guy.
He's all right, isn't it? Like, this is a film that was like, I saw it was, how long was it? 2 hours?
It's like 2 hours.
2.5.
Yeah. But that was when I was like, if this was 4 hours, no worries.
Really?
Give me 4 hours of this, because it was just good zombie killing fun. And
if it was 4 hours, I would have melted.
Oh, I loved it. But I like zombie films. I'll watch any zombie films, whether they're good or not.
I will say this: it was long. I don't think it felt 2.5. I think it was quite a breezy 2.5 hours. And I enjoyed it for what it was. It was trying to do something different with the zombie genre. I wish it was more of a heist, because that's what the whole conceit was, and very, very thin on that.
It was
on that level.
It was in no way a heist.
Genuinely,
no.
they just get to the bank vault, and then
I thought they were going to have to
spend a bit of time opening it. Yeah,
you know, I thought they were going to have to do the whole Ocean's 12. They're going to have to get Julia Roberts involved somehow, playing herself.
Then they give us a cool time loop thing, and then don't mention it ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's going to get brought up. Yeah,
yes, they're talking about the dead bodies, and it's
yeah.
Like they're caught in an endless time loop of trying and failing.
Jack doesn't remember this movie at all.
Who's stuck in a time loop? The characters.
Do you not remember that? What's his name talks about it? He's talking to the German guy. Vanderho and the German guy talking about it. They see some dead bodies, and he's like, "That could be us." And
it was what they were wearing, wasn't it?
No, I thought he was just a maniac.
No, I
thought he was just written that way to try and give his character some sort of like of his own personality. I generally thought that was the case. I thought like Zack Snyder was trying to have this like quirky group of people,
apparently,
and that was his
thing.
If you
read his like degree that he shows in like the first sequence, he does have like a degree in philosophy. So that's
a degree in time loop.
That's like being philosophical.
Yeah, but Zack Snyder is still written in that way to try and be more interesting.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Because none of them are.
He also has a big saw that never gets used
any zombies. Pointless.
It's got a big saw. Don't forget about
that. Use it to cut through a wall, and that's it.
I suspect that whole time loop shit will be, because I imagine this did really well for Netflix, so there will be a sequel. They've already done a anime series, and they've done a German prequel movie, so we're gonna get a lot more. And there was shit like robot zombies, and there's going to be aliens involved that originated the zombies and stuff like that. So it's going to be a whole fucking thing. But Yeah, I thought it was fine. As it's not one of Snyder's best movies. Wasn't as good as Dawn of the Dead. Probably just put it a bit under that, but yeah, it was very enjoyable. Now and again, you just need a bit of mindless zombie gore, and I thought it was pretty fun.
I feel like I enjoyed it more at the time. Now I've had 3 weeks to fester on it. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I did.
No,
No, because it was just fucking nonsense, wasn't it?
it was,
Absolutely.
yeah, but I mean,
there
what do you
was-
expect?
Like the whole premise of like a zombie heist. I was like, oh, that sounds fucking cool. And they don't heist.
They didn't
there's no-
take advantage of the
there's
heist
no-
genre.
There's no actual typical heist obstacles. They just have to get from A to B and open a
Yeah.
safe. And the man, he opens the safe with little to no difficulty. There was no one, fucking backflipping over laser beams, trying not to trip them or anything. There was no, any of that typical heist stuff, which is great. And I thought a lot of the characters were unmemorable. I couldn't name half the people in that film.
Oh, can we bring up the Tig Notaro stuff? So
Right,
Tig
I'm
Notaro
gonna
plays
say
the
I made note of this. I couldn't see Crystalia playing that character.
I could easy,
yeah,
very
I
easily.
could just
I was-
annoying.
I don't know. I couldn't see it. Like, yeah, that character, they were really annoying.
But right,
And it was
yeah,
just
I
like
thought
it was just like just everything they said was like quip, quip. And it's like, oh, come on.
it seemed
like-
like the reshoots of her being, composited in was so obvious and distracting.
Yeah, they were
But
super
also,
janky.
all of her dialogue, because she didn't act with any of the other actors, she was on a different energy, and it really wasn't flowing
Yeah,
back and
it felt
forth.
really
and,
stunted.
yeah, and there was too much of it, and I'm like, oh, we get
there were a
it.
few bits that I was watching it and I was
Yeah.
like, that's a bit. So a bit got me. I watched it twice and the second time as well. At the start when Chambers gets
You,
I have
You
no
can't-
idea
you-
which would
you-
change.
you
it.
can't
not-
use
we're
set
gonna get
character
character
names.
names.
my other friend described her as female Rambo.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
got the thing around her
Yeah.
head, the bandana around her head.
The one that gets like surrounded by about 4 zombies, and her friend is like, I don't know what I can do about that,
Yeah,
even though I'm holding
But
a
do you know
gun.
what really annoys me that bit, right? She has time to shout at him saying, go, get out of here. But she doesn't think for 2 seconds to be like, that bloke locked me in a room with all those zombies. He's dodgy. He doesn't say a
It
word.
really didn't seem like that hard of a scenario for her to get out of either.
Yeah, like it was just that bit was a bit meh. And then also when they're in the casino bit and Batista's going at them, he's like peppering them all with an assault rifle, and they're just like dipping and dodging every bullet.
Yeah.
Then when his daughter, who's got no military experience, has,
Headshot
like,
every single time.
But yeah, it's Ed just pinging them on, no problem.
She got raised right. Right. So we want to speed through these reviews, don't we? So shall we rate Army of the Dead?
Didn't even get to say anything about it.
Did you not? Calvin, go quick. Brief thoughts and a rating.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I think Zack Snyder is more of an ideas man than he is an actual good filmmaker. I knew he was his own
I resent
DP
that.
in this. A lot of it, he seemed like he didn't have a focus puller because everything seemed to be out of focus.
They were using it was called like
yeah.
a dream lens or something that you
Yeah.
usually use for commercials, and it was
I think
much.
I think like I like the ideas of like the zombies being like more intelligent and stuff, but I felt like if you're gonna go for these big zany ideas like robots and aliens, lean into it more.
yeah.
Lean into it more. Don't just put some robots in the background and hope people see them. Then in an interview say that's part of the lore. That's not how
Yeah.
you build lore in like any films or anything. Like I don't know. I just think
Feels like
just
with
doing
that
it
kind of
that
stuff,
way is
he's-
just really bad.
I feel like with that kind of stuff, he was just gambling on there being a sequel. So he
Yeah,
could
but it
explore
doesn't
more,
feel. It
but-
doesn't feel like. It feels like you're watching you are watching a product
Yeah.
being made, but it feels that way, and I that's the way I feel about like literally all of his films, and I feel he's terrible at writing characters. I think he thinks he's this really philosophical guy who's got something to say about characters, when the stuff he really excels at is the action, which recently he's been trying to like dial down a bit more on that and do a bit more character work, which I just think he's generally bad at.
Yeah, I can see both sides of that argument. Like, I love Justice League, but this wasn't that.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna rate this?
I think I'd give it I'll give it 2.5 stars.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 3. I thought it was decent. It was fun. It was too long, and there was weird little setups that had no payoff. So yeah, 3 stars. Reese?
I give it a 4. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was just something that I could stick on.
Twice,
And-
apparently.
Yeah, twice. Yeah, like I said,
Stuck in a
think
time loop.
I think it's a bit biased because I do love most zombie films, and I will watch most of them, even if they're kind of bad.
Fair.
So yeah.
4. Jack?
I'll go with 2. Because I'm now thinking it's super unmemorable, and any film that could have had a scene where like a zombie king is riding a zombie tiger and doesn't do that doesn't deserve 2.5. Like that was a waste.
Fair enough.
That would have just been fucking cool. Like I can't believe no one on set was like, should we do this?
Should we put him on that?
Should we? Yeah, like putting a puzzle together, and then like I can imagine like bringing that up to Zach and him just being like, oh fuck, like because
Out of
someone must.
everything. He thought of robots and aliens, but not putting that
Yeah, but he
dude on
couldn't
that
put
tiger.
that king on that only tiger that they had.
Tiger King.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So 2 out of 5. Right. Next, got Quiet Place 2. No spoilers because Reese still hasn't seen this. So Jack, go.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought I'm not really a horror type person, as you know. I'll do my best to avoid them as much as possible, but I feel like these aren't really I find them more like
Sci-fi.
thrillers.
Yeah.
Sci-fi thriller.
It's like a mix of sci-fi, horror, and thriller. It's not really
Yeah.
any. And
It depends
doesn't
if
really
you
fall into
find
any of those.
aliens scary, really. Which,
Yeah.
I don't.
I just love. I know it's called A Quiet Place, but I just love the use of sound throughout the movie. Like whenever
It's incredible. Yeah.
when I don't know the actress's name, but the girl who plays the deaf girl.
Yeah.
Anytime it's focused on her and everything's like so muffled and like it's something they've done a really good. I think John Krasinski's done a really good job of helping you experience what she's experiencing in that time.
Yeah.
And I thought killing off John Krasinski in the first one, I was like, how are they going to like do this now? Is it going to feel empty without him? But like they did such a good job with putting Cillian Murphy in this. He is.
Yeah, I
so
thought it
good.
was just going to be like a replacement John Krasinski, but he's a whole different.
Yeah,
he's his whole other character, and he's gone through so much in this apocalypse, and he was really interesting in the journey he goes on.
Yeah, I thought he was great, and then this isn't even a real genuine criticism. My only criticism is I thought, again, no spoilers. I thought that
I thought
Djimon Hounsou was going to be a main character. That's how it was like in the trailer where like they open the door and it's Cillian Murphy and Djimon Hounsou.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, the fucking boys, the two big bitches. Here we go.
Nope.
And he's in it for five. I'd say 5 minutes max.
Yeah. He must have been so lost when he was promoting this movie. He's been on the press tour for this film, and he must be so lost.
He must be bored. What's it like? What's it like being in this?
We're not even seeing the movie.
Yeah, he probably has no context to what his bit means to anything in the movie.
No. Calvin?
Yeah, I thought this was great. I think that's probably the first film on here that I thought was really great. Yeah, I thought it held up. I haven't seen the first one since it came out, but after watching this one, I felt like it might even surpass the first one. Just how it handles its narrative and the pace. Like this isn't a spoiler, Reese, but I really liked how they have these three separate simultaneous stories. I thought like that was a really interesting way to explore something that's still relatively quite small, because it's still sort of set in the same area. Like I'm glad they haven't been tempted by going like on a worldwide scale now with what they're trying to show. It's still very much like a family's experience and how they've lost touch with the rest of the world. And I just think they really did an excellent job trying to, managing to not get bought in by these ideas of really expanding the world too much.
They do expand the world, but it's not.
Yeah, but they
It feels
keep it,
appropriate.
Yeah.
The way they do it. Yeah, I thought this easily surpassed the first one for me, and I was a big fan of that. But it was just how Krasinski's just like fine tuning his directing, and he's just taking what he learned from the first and just evolving it and making it better. And that first scene of the day one that is incredible.
Yeah, usually I don't like to see that sort of stuff, but that was a well executed scene.
Very good.
Usually,
it was the whole confusion and chaos of it that really just played into the fear. Yeah,
and like individual sounds are like heightened because
so when he's in the shop and he's like he rips a bag and it's so loud that you're like, oh.
Yeah, because you know that something's going to happen. Because obviously it's day one, you just don't know when. And I think they do such a good job of keeping you on your toes for it.
Yeah, that scene pays off, especially because you already know how these aliens work and what they respond to.
Yeah.
But then,
exactly.
Like we, the audience, are already knowing that these people shouldn't be trying to phone people or whispering in any way. So we already know what's it like in store for them if they sort of make any noise.
Yeah. When that guy's like praying or whatever, I was just sat in the cinema.
Shut up.
You fucking idiot. I was like, idiot.
I think my one criticism with it is it's not really a criticism, but it's rated a 15, and I would like describe it came up with like gore at the beginning, like injury detail, and there was none of that in this one. The first one had a bit more, but I don't know. I feel like if you're going for that sort of, not that I just love that sort of stuff, but I felt like it would have made everything feel a bit more like a bit more like the aliens would have seemed a bit more menacing if you really saw what they were capable of.
What I really loved about this was it wasn't just a sequel in that it's that world, but it's a whole different story. It very much felt like a continuation of the same
that's
the same
probably
story,
why they call
and
it
then
a part.
Well, and I was worried it was just going to be A Quiet Place again, but it evolves and we move through the world and we see what's happened with all these these different groups, because in the first film it was very much just the family, and I really hope there's a part 3. I hope it happens.
I think there
soon.
will be.
The ending to this, I won't spoil it, but there was some just the way it built to this conclusion, and well, not even but the symmetry of it I thought was just beautiful, and I genuinely shed a tear. I was like, that was fantastic. I really love this, and I can't wait to watch it again. I'm surprised I haven't so far.
Yeah, another great thing I thought they did is I won't spoil it, but obviously the handling of Cillian Murphy's character. Like usually in these sort of films, you expect one thing from these sort of people, but they completely go the opposite way with it, and it was so refreshing and nice to see, I guess. Yeah, and the idea of these movies isn't like, oh, look at these aliens, look how scary they are. It's making you care and get invested in this family, and that's where the horror comes from, because you genuinely care about what happens to them. And I think they do such an excellent job of really building up these characters, especially in this one, from where they were in the first to how they end up in this. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought it was like an interesting angle to like. I feel like after that film that they made the daughter very much like
the main character.
Whereas obviously John Krasinski and Emily Blunt were basically the main characters in the first one. And I was like, oh, they're probably just going to go, we're going to get loads of Emily Blunt and the kids are going to be just like side pieces to that.
Yeah.
But like, I love how they put like, I thought it was just an interesting angle to go to put this, like the deaf character is your main like focal point of the movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah. We've not really talked about Emily Blunt. I'll just mention her quickly. Again, just proving just how talented she is. One of the best, I think. She can really just do anything.
Yeah, she can. Yeah,
she's so good, and you just feel the fear through her. She
hates the Fantastic Four now.
Oh, to be fair, I probably would as well. John Krasinski's like, shut up! I want to be Mr. Fantastic.
I really want to be Fantastic.
Well, she was gonna be Black Widow, wasn't she? But she turned it down for Gulliver's Travels.
Oh well, no, she was contracted to do Gulliver's Travels. She wanted to do Black Widow. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
That's a shame.
You had to pick one or the other, and she's like, I think Gulliver is going to be.
That will be.
That's the one.
That's my Oscar.
the GCU.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no doubts in this.
Yeah. Rate this. I'll give this a. Ooh, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thought this was really something quite spectacular, and yeah, I can't wait to watch it again. Calvin,
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars.
nice. Jack,
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 4 stars purely based on the fact that I always think it's hard when doing a sequel to top the first movie, and I think in this one they have done that, especially when the first movie was so good in the first place.
yeah, they did a really good job. Right, Jack, we watched Nobody the other night.
Yeah, we did.
What did you think about that?
It's absolutely just fucking ridiculous, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It's basically it's like John Wick meets like if Liam Neeson was doing John Wick, like John Wick and Taken, kind of.
John Wick
It's
if he was
just-
old.
Yeah, John
Keanu
Wick
Reeves is old anyways, but
Yeah,
you know,
I know, but yeah.
he's a vampire.
It's just one of those things where like I wasn't really in it for the story. Like I knew it was going to be 90 minutes of Bob Odenkirk just killing people, and that's what I got. The story is like whatever you want. Like essentially,
What bothered
man-
me was it was too like I know it's the same writer as John Wick, so I
Oh, is it?
expected similarities. Yeah, Derek Kolstad, I think. He
Okay.
did some of Falcon and Winter Soldier as well, but it was too much like John Wick.
Yeah.
I expected like similar action and maybe a similar tone, but like plot beats and stuff, and it just I was like, I've seen this all before. The way
Yeah.
they went with it, like he's not, he wasn't a nobody, was he? And I didn't like the way they really went with that. The action was
Yeah.
fucking great though. That bus scene is fantastic.
Yeah, that bus scene was really good, and I like how it starts off. Like you're kind of just watching it, like, oh, he's gonna fucking die. he's not gonna win.
He's gonna get himself killed. Yeah,
He's gonna die. But basically, what I didn't like about the story is kind of like obviously like the first part. There's like a home invasion in his house, and he essentially gets emasculated in front of his son.
yeah.
And then he decides, no, fuck this. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna kill him. And then he doesn't kill them, and then he just fights a bunch of people on a bus. And then
it just took the John Wick route of he's beat up the wrong guy's son. And
yeah,
then I was like, I'm kind of bored with the.
yeah. It was his.
too many
It was
times.
his brother, wasn't it? But the guy he beat up
Brother,
was
yeah.
like 20, and then the
The guy-
brother
the other
was
guy
like
was
in
like
his
60s.
60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was stupid.
What are you gonna rate this?
Oh god, I'm probably gonna give it 2.5 stars. It's very watchable. It was entertaining. I wasn't going into it being like, this is going to really stimulate my mind, like I'm going to be really engaged. I just want to see an old man fuck up some people, and that's what I got.
Yeah, I'll go with 3. It's short. It's it's quick. The action was really good, but yeah, the story just let me down. So 3 out of 5. Right, these next 2 I'll just blast through because nobody else saw these. So Conjuring 3, it was a fine. I mean, I don't know if they're ending the trilogy there, but it was pretty good. It's probably got the best actual plot and villain of all 3 movies. But you can really tell that James Wan isn't there behind the camera doing all these James Wan camera trickery. But I'd give it was a fine movie. It was scary. It was fun. So 3.5 out of 5 for that. And then Cruella. Did anyone want to watch Cruella? Can I say that?
I don't know.
right?
Just
Cruella.
like I will
was
watch
one
it,
of
but it's
my-
just so long.
It was one
It's
of my
Yeah.
honorable
2 hours
mentions.
and 15 minutes.
It was one of the honorable mentions in my most anticipated films of the year. And I feel like
was it?
You
that
haven't seen
was-
it?
Oh,
I haven't
me.
seen it yet. I don't like.
Was
I
it-
feel like I want to because I heard something about it the other day, and it's not really a spoiler, so I can mention it. But doesn't she like fully believe that Dalmatians murdered her parents?
Well,
Isn't
I
that
mean-
like a? Isn't that like a
well, no,
thing?
it's not a spoiler. It's right at the beginning of the movie. A Dalmatian, well, a pack of Dalmatians do like kick her mother off a cliff.
I mean, listen. If there's
This
ever a
just
way,
sounds
if
Before
there's
she's
ever a
gonna
way
get, before she's
to
gonna get
sell me on a
mauled.
film That's it.
Was it like a malicious kicking, or was it like accidental?
It was motivated. I'll say that.
I need
Maybe
to
I'll,
see
When you
maybe I
say-
will watch it then.
When you say how many Dalmatians?
3,
Like,
not
101.
101.
I was gonna say, is it like the prequels? It was like 99, 100 Dalmatians.
100 Dalmatians boot a Mar off a cliff. Right, yeah, it's too much like Joker for one. They took too much inspiration
Joker's
from that
parents
movie.
being booted off a cliff by a pack of dogs.
No, you must have walked in late. Yeah, too much like Joker. They just took too much inspiration from it. Like there's plot points that are just too similar to what happened in Joker, and they're delivered with no weight. All these twists are just given to you, and I'm like, what did that actually just happen? There's no weight to anything. Emma Stone's really good. Emma Thompson's really good. But it seemed like they're like stuff like the Dalmatians were just put in there to make it a prequel, and it didn't need to be. This movie didn't need to be made.
Seeing this film, I feel like this film is a film that's made for people whose entire personality is that they really like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Do you know those?
What are you going to say?
I know
What are you going to say?
what you mean.
101 Dalmatians?
No.
No.
You know those kind of people who like they like Nightmare Before Christmas too much.
Yeah.
I think it's
I know
their
a
kind of
fair
film.
few of those people.
Like to a T. I say that one of my good mates is literally that person, and I know he's gonna love this film.
They're the same people who are also like horse girls.
Yeah.
Apologies if any horse girls want to listen.
like in their like
if any horse girls are watching
Your
this
people
podcast,
too.
in like
If
all
any
of
horse
their,
girls are listening
all
to
of
this,
their
please
bios,
move along.
on like all of their profile and their bios, they have like I'm a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
You've so. Now, before we move on from this, Reese, did you actually put this as one of your like?
It wasn't in the top 10. It was one of my like just outside.
Did we give you shit for it?
I think you did, yeah.
Okay, good.
I think I deserved it for that. I was just like
move on,
I was
then.
basing it on just that Emma Stone was in it, but I feel like she's not probably not good enough to carry.
Well, I just wanted to know because if we hadn't, I was going to give you some after this was over. But that's fine. As long as I know that shit was given to you for it, that's we can.
Yeah, no, it wasn't top 10. It was
okay.
Just
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, this gets a 2 out of 5. Like, the performances were good, but this didn't need to be made. I mean, no movie needs to be made, but fuck this movie.
When she got booted off the cliff, did people laugh?
I definitely did, for sure.
That is something that I think that people would fucking have. I'd be in absolute bits. I'm gonna go watch this now. You've made me want to go.
Just
watch
walk
it.
in at the beginning, and
I
that's
will.
all you need to see.
Yeah, I will definitely.
So who has seen Raya and the Last Dragon?
I have.
You have. Is it? Yeah, it's just us two.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
All right, go off, Calvin.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. I don't think it's one of like this is just Disney, isn't it? It's not Pixar or anything.
It's just Disney, yeah.
I don't think it's one of the. I feel like it might fall under the radar a bit, probably just because it didn't get like a big cinema release here.
Yeah, I don't think that's the movie's fault. It's just
but I still think
I
still think it's one of the sort of like I don't think it's one of the best Disney films. I really like what they did with it. The animation was really good, but it felt a bit too samey. I thought they could have given it a bit more of its own personality because it felt like every other one.
It did just look like Moana.
Pixar are usually a lot better at sort of doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really enjoyed that it was just like this character was like a proper warrior. She wasn't like typical recently we haven't been getting like typical princesses, but they're still like almost princesses. But Raya in this is just a straight up warrior. I did like I really enjoyed the setting of it. It really felt like some sort of high fantasy thing because this is set in its own sort of world. I think they did a great job at it reminded me of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, the way they sort of introduced the world to that. You got like these little like different nations.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Different parts of the dragon. I thought the best part of this was the actual like one-on-one of action scenes. Especially the sort of end fight. I thought it was so well shot and sort of choreographed. It just looked amazing. like when they sort of like did shots where they sort of like, you know, do wide shots of them like standing off. Like this is reminding me of like, you know, like with Kylo Ren and Luke standoff in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many great moments like that in it. Yeah, I liked all the characters. I just feel that maybe this lacked having songs, like a couple. I think that's what people find so memorable
Yeah.
about these Disney classics. The
You know,
sort of songs,
that didn't even occur to me during
yeah,
the
I
movie
didn't
that
mind
it
it. Not
wasn't a musical.
the score was great.
Yeah, yeah, really
Everything was
nice.
James Newton Howard, who always
Yeah.
does great scores. But yeah, maybe people would have flocked to see it more if it did have songs, because I feel like that appeals to more people and it's what people are used to from Disney. But I feel like this is a great sort of stepping off point to sort of more action-led Disney films which sort of introduce their sort of own world and lore and stuff.
Yeah. Rated out of 5.
Give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Sweet. I'll go with a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really beautiful to look at. I'm just happy for Kelly Marie Tran. After she got absolutely shafted by Star Wars.
Well, by Disney again.
Well, yeah, but
they've sorted her out this time.
Yeah, good for her leading her own Disney movie. Good for her. I liked the little motley crew of characters we had. They were really fun. I thought they had a good dynamic.
The ship captain was by far the best.
Yeah, I loved him. It was great. Yeah, like you said, I really like the world that they set up on all these different factions. What were they called?
Yeah.
It's a very standard Disney plot. It was quite similar to Moana, really. Return, like getting this gem and returning it to bring peace to the land. Yeah, really good movie. Really enjoyed it, and that's all I have to say about Raya and the Last Dragon.
The one with was that the one with Awkwafina? She in it?
She's really good. Yeah, really good. Right, Loki premiere episode. Let's all get involved again.
Oh.
Reese, what did you think of the first episode of Loki?
I thought whenever I see a first episode of something, I never try and go into it with too much because I'm always like, it's mainly there to set up.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think it was a really good first episode. It set up this kind of a new thing that we'd never seen before. Like we never even Marvel love to kind of drop in like hints at things, but I don't think they've ever really mentioned this before.
No, never.
So I think the way they set that up was really good. I think obviously Tom Hiddleston is just brilliant.
Yeah, it's mad that we got more screen time from him in this first episode than we probably have in any of the movies.
Yeah, I did have a few issues with it. I think they explained away, like the Avengers never being pulled in as, when being like, oh yeah, that was supposed to happen. It's like, okay. And then I think where they were showing him all the clips.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a really cheap way of getting him to the point of where he was by Endgame.
Yeah. It was interesting though.
We've only got 6 episodes though, haven't we?
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah, obviously I knew they didn't have time, but I thought maybe he wouldn't get all the way to where he was. He'd still be that, a bit of a bastard.
I like how we're getting a different Loki than we've got. It's because the Loki in the movies went, he had his arc, but this Loki will go on a whole,
they have set it up.
Journey.
I like the concept of it,
Yeah.
All the timelines and the branching timelines and that. And I think they've set up a really interesting story, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, I think because with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, we are in a world that we understand and we already have a grasp of. But with Loki, you are setting up a completely, and it's like a massive. This has massive implications for the rest of the MCU, like the TVA and the Timekeepers and all that. So to actually just establish that in episode 1 and have me just completely get it, and this is where we are now. I get what they're doing, and this is going to be the idea of the show. I think they did such a good job, and stuff like the production design and the cinematography was just, I thought, quite outstanding, and it just made this world feel so fresh to what we've had before, even though it is very retro and like a throwback, and it seemed like a 70s style office setting.
Yeah, have you seen,
it does feel very new.
Has anyone here seen, maybe not, but Brazil by Terry Gilliam?
I've never watched it, but yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. This sort of like a sort of bureaucratic
Yeah.
sort of sort of company in that, and all the technology sort of feels the same. I wonder if that was any like sort of I felt like it was influenced by that and stuff like 1984, that really like bureaucratic, like sort of big conglomerate that owns everything.
Yeah. What do we think of the whole sort of like timekeeper palaver? Like I've just got a feeling it's going to be a big conspiracy.
Yeah.
And you know,
100%.
maybe not the TVA, but the timekeepers are definitely, I think, going to be the bad guys.
I think maybe they probably like just to get this one timeline, they wanted like have everything in their control. So when they had like this war in the past, they did some dodgy stuff.
I think I can't remember if I talked to you about it the other day, but I saw a theory that because they set it up in this episode that time is, you know, it's happening, you know, the future is happening now, the past is happening now, all at the same time, that this like multiverse war that has happened in the past might be what we're actually just working forward to. Because obviously we are getting Multiverse of Madness, and Spider-Man 3 will, you know, that's going to be multiverse and stuff. So
yeah, it would make sense that it was just a natural thing to happen with the timeline, like the sort of idea that like time is cyclical and like there'll be like a war, then there'll be like peace, or what they think happen is peace. Again. Then there'll be another one, and then it'll happen again. Yeah, and it's just a thing that just keeps happening.
Because as we learned with Endgame, like, you know, you go into a different timeline, you change one thing, you know, especially like taking out a stone, and then it throws the whole thing off. So maybe, you know, maybe it's just destined to happen over and over again. And I think, you know, the next sort of Infinity War Endgame type event will be, it'll happen in 10 years, and it will be like a multiverse war type thing, which I can't wait for. Jack?
I think you know what I'm going to say. I thought it was fucking sick, obviously.
I can't wait for the day where we have a Marvel thing to review. He's like, I didn't care for it.
He's totally and utterly bought into the entire franchise. No matter Disney what they shill. Do, they could like Kevin Feige could come and take a shit on his doorstep, and he thank him for it.
I'd be like, is this?
That shit was so set up, and saw hints to that shit 7 years ago.
If he did it, I'd literally be like, well, this is obviously going to tie into something that I'm going to be in.
Am I Mr. Fantastic? Am I reading?
This is not your mere inconsequential shit at a door. This is the shit that will define my life. Yeah, I mean, this is, I think I said in one of the other ones, this is the one I was the most excited for, most anticipated.
Yeah.
And I mean, so far, I think like 90% of this episode is stuff that we've seen in the trailers.
Yeah, I think all the trailer stuff is mainly,
which is quite good because now I've got absolutely no idea what to expect. I really liked Owen Wilson's like character, almost like giving Loki like a verbal like dressing down of just being like, essentially, you do what you do because that's the way you're supposed to do it.
That's who you are in this story.
Yeah, like, you're not making your own decisions. Like, it's written, basically, it's like what you're doing is written down and you're doing
so meta.
Yeah.
Because it is written down.
Yeah. And I just liked like kind of his realization that he is like in terms of this like universe that he's discovered, he's basically it. Yeah, and he's like
he's nothing, basically.
Yeah, he's so small.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's when he opens up the cart and just sees the plethora of Infinity Stones, and to us as well, because we've just gone through this 10-year journey all about Infinity Stones and how important they are, and then we just see them
bullshit all
then. It was set up in Endgame, wasn't it? You take a stone out of that timeline and it's pretty, not really important anymore. It's not
Yeah, it's
effective
fine.
out of
Yeah. Good paperweights.
Yeah, but then it just hits Loki's like, he says like, is this the greatest power in the universe?
Yeah.
And I can never remember the actor's name, but who played Casey? It's like Eugene something. So funny. I'm gonna gut you like a fish, Casey.
Oh, yeah.
What's a fish?
What's a fish? He says he's gonna gut me with a fish.
I
think my favorite part of the whole thing was just his like him navigating like the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Like when he's like in that queue and like the guy in front of him doesn't take a ticket and he sees him get like wiped out of time and instantly he starts patting his pockets.
They call it pruning.
Yeah. For a second,
deleted.
For a second, I thought he was another Loki, like a really shit one from a different.
That'd be good. So the whole thing is, you come out of your timeline, you're now a variant, which I thought that I was like, I like that, and that's this whole variant thing I can see popping up again in Spider-Man and stuff like that. How
strict are they with that? Because like in the little video they do, when Miss Time or someone is explaining it. Miss Minutes. She's like, I mean, I wasn't far off, was I?
They got the general idea. She was a clock.
Welcome to my bar. I missed time.
If you're late for work, you throw off the timeline. So do they pull you into this place if you're late for work?
What?
In the thing, she says, if she says that time can.
No, that I don't think every person who's late for work. but he said it. No, they said it says it could pull you off the timeline, and if it does, they're going to.
Could you imagine that if it'd be a nightmare. You're a bit late getting up before 3 to clock in, and then they just pull you into this place.
No, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me yesterday when I was a minute late. I forgot to tell anyone.
Picked up by a timekeeper.
Yeah, I got picked up.
What are you doing?
I got shot straight away.
They probably wipe people's memory, I imagine.
Well, I think that's what that whole reset thing is.
Yeah.
So anyone in that vicinity just mind wiped.
What I'm really looking forward to the setup is the general, like the whole plot, like the main plot thread that they've obviously said that's going to happen, like him investigating himself for like a murder investigation. Yeah. I really want to see him in like a big, long, like a classic, like film noir inspector's sort of like private eye outfit. I really want to see him in like a long coat. I don't want to see him in any of his like Asgardian clothes anymore. I want to see him in.
I think he gets his own TVA uniform.
Yeah, but I want to see him with like a cool hat on and stuff.
Yeah,
smoking.
Yeah, lighting matches on people's clothes to intimidate them. I want to see that.
So it's revealed at the end of the episode that did anyone else know this going in, that the villain was just going to be another? Oh, right.
No, but what the only thing that annoyed me a little bit about it is because Marvel just show too much, and part of like the fandom end up showing too much, like when people get casted and you can piece it all together, because now we obviously know in the trailer that we might have seen a female Loki, so now we sort of know as soon as we see her that that's going to be the person he's after. And for some I might try and it's so hard to try and stay blind with Marvel because it's like the biggest franchise in the world right now. And I don't know. I feel like when they make all these announcements, like they're going to have a cameo or they've cast like this person, I just want like a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
I remember
speaking of like, theories and all that, and like fans. Do you know at the start when they speak to that little boy and they're like, who did this? And he looks at like the thing of the devil.
Yeah.
My girlfriend turned to me and went, oh, Mephisto's a devil, isn't he? I went,
I like how
I saw it immediately.
They've come straight out as Kate Herron, the director, has come straight out and be like, no, it's Loki. The devil means Loki. It's not
there
fucking
people
Mephisto
everywhere
again.
that were like, oh, it's Mephisto. I was like, no.
They saw what went wrong with Paul Bettany on WandaVision, hyping everyone up and like, no, don't do that again. Don't do that
Reese, I don't want to alarm you, but I think in the TVA on someone's desk there was a pack of cards.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That would throw me off.
It's Remy LeBeau.
If I was just watching,
I thought I was missing something then. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
I'm not
joking.
gonna lie.
There's
When he
no,
said to me
there's
at the
no
start, I was
cards.
like, "What's he talking about? Cards?"
Yeah, you can just hear you can just see a pack of cards in the background. Just hear a man going on.
Mon cher.
Mon ami. Bonsoir.
What I was sort of disappointed about with this episode because the whole DB Cooper thing that was such a big deal in the trailer. I thought that was gonna, stuff like that was gonna factor into the plot of him going through time and having him actually turning out to be these people. But it was to do with the plot of Loki. But no, it was just a fun little flashback to a bet he lost with Thor. Which why did he what I want to know what the bet was. I want to know what the bet was because why do Asgardians need all that cash?
Yeah, surely they don't take dollars in Asgard.
Well,
and if they did, they're royalty anyway.
I don't know if it was about the money. If it was just funny.
Not, yeah.
Yeah, but then Thor being like, "Oh, if you lose this, then you have to hijack. You have to basically commit terrorism."
Yeah, but I think old Thor used to be like a bit of a bastard. Like he is in like the actual mythology sort of thing.
One bit I picked up on. I've watched this episode 3 times. I really like it. One thing I did pick up on in that scene, Loki's like, I was young and I lost a bet to Thor. I'm like, well, you can't have been that young because like Thor's 1500 years old. Yeah. So, and this was like
1450.
Well, yeah, they must be at least as old as the Vikings.
Yeah.
We don't know how they measure age though. We don't know what young is.
Right, Calvin, out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars.
I will also give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Jack.
Oh, you guys always do this to me because I was thinking of giving it 3.5, and now I feel like I liked it more than Calvin. So now I don't know where to go anymore. I'm just gonna have to give it a 4.
You're not in my head.
Yeah, Calvin might have loved this.
I don't know. Well, yeah, 4. Yeah.
4. Reese.
4.
Hey! Well done. That's easy. Loki gets a 4. A 4, Jack? Are you all right with that?
16 out of 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
87.2 out of 12.
Did you fair? 87.2.
I did the maths. All right. It converts.
I believe
It's
you.
a certified sick.
4 out of 5. I can't even remember what the fuck I said now.
Patrick Schick.
What?
Give it a 4.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
We've lost our heads. Do the outro.
What's a Patrick Schick?
He plays for the Czech Republic.
Am I doing the outro? All right. Am I doing the outro in the episode now? Yeah, fuck it. We'll see you all again next week where we'll chat some more shit. Maybe some more Loki. What movies are out next week? Who knows?
Maybe Reese will have watched some of them.
Yeah,
you watched like one more than I did.
What a fucking shift in Reese.
All you did was watch Army of the Dead, which we said we watched a month ago. You haven't watched anything since. You got a month.
Listen, I've been really busy at work, right?
Yeah,
you sound it.
Nappy till 12. Right, yeah. Follow us on Twitter at Keeping It Real UK. From there, you can find all our links to all our streaming platforms. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you can. And we'll see you next week.